Hi, Tanae, Red Lipstick at Home, and this week I watched Guava Island. It is currently streaming on Amazon, and I'm an Amazon Prime member, so I got to watch it as part of my membership. Now, I don't know if this was actually a movie or just a really long music video. It seemed like a long music video, like the Thriller video. Remember back in the 80s, Michael Jackson had, of course, you remember. Who doesn't? I mean, even if you weren't alive, then you still know Michael Jackson Thriller. And if you haven't, you need to YouTube Michael Jackson Thriller. Go watch it. So anyway, spoiler alert, you know how I do. I talk about the entire movie. I'm talking about themes today. I'm talking about the acting, everything about the movie. So spoiler alert. So it starts off talking about the folklore of Guava Island. Now it stars Rihanna as Kofi and Childish Gambino, or you might know him as Donald Glover, the Renaissance man Donald Glover, as Denny. Now I call him a Renaissance man. Quick little side note, because did you know he's a writer, a director, a DJ, a dancer, singer, rapper, comedian? Probably some more stuff. He probably paints, and I mean, he's so talented. He is a Renaissance man for real. So talented. Oh my gosh. So anyway, so it starts off talking about the folklore of Guava Island, and the story is told by Rihanna as it was told, well, Kofi, as it was told to her by her mother as a bedtime story. Now it's talking about how Guava Island started off as this very pure place where no man has ever touched it, and everything grew beautifully, and there was this clay worm that created this beautiful blue silk, and then people came and inhabited the island, and they were all happy and full of joy and love, and then they loved this clay worm that produced this beautiful blue silk. But of course, whenever you have something that's beautiful and well desired, widely desired, somebody's going to come in and try to take it from you. So that's the Red family. So they represented war. They talked about the two, what is it? The dueling truths, and it's love and war. Those are the dueling truths. So the people who started out on the island, loving it, taking care of it, they were the love portion, and then the war portion came in to try to take everything away. And of course, there was a war. Everything got messed up. The Red family actually, the bad Red family actually won the war. And so then you fast forward to modern day times, which I'm not really sure what that time is, but you fast forward to when she's now an adult and she's telling us the story that her mom told her. And we see that the Red family is still ruling this island. They own everything on the island. They own the dock where everything is produced or shipped out, import, export. They own the factory where Kofi works. She works in a clothing factory where they produce all of this clothing and materials made out of the blue silk. Or the blue silk. And he owns the radio station. He owns property everywhere on the island. You see signs of eyeballs that say "Red sees you." I mean, he's such an oppressor. The whole family is such an oppressor. They're thugs. I mean, dictators. I mean, it's really bad. So you can see, but the people are so happy. But you can see that when I see, she actually says, Kofi says that, that's a nice story that her mom told her, but that's all fine and good, but I want to leave this island. I'm not staying on this island my entire life. I want to travel the world. And they show her as a little cartoon character flying in an airplane and everything. So she has big dreams to get off of this island. Now, her boyfriend, who is her childhood sweetheart, Denny, played by Donald Glover, Childish Gambino, he loves the island. Not that she doesn't, but he never wants to leave the island. He loves the island. He loves the people. Everybody loves him. He's on the radio, so people know his voice, and he's the communicator he's one of the main communicators to the entire island, because you don't see any televisions in this movie. You don't see any cell phones. So I don't know what year this is supposed to be in, but everyone listens to the radio, and they have these old school radios too. They're the radio, there's like a square, and you have to turn the knob, and you see all the dial, the numbers on the dial, and you have that kind of old school. So his voice is known all over the island, speaking and singing. He does the little jingles for all of the Red products and the Red radio station. So he's beloved in this story. So he loves the island, and his dream is to write a song that everyone on the island loves, and the song will unite everyone on the island. So he decides he's going to have a concert, an all night long concert, and have everyone just come and just enjoy themselves. And everyone on the island is looking forward to this concert. They're getting their clothes together. They're talking about it. They're, dancing and getting in the groove, just thinking about this fantastic concert that's going to be put on by Denny. The problem is, on this oppressive island run by the Red family, they have to work 7 days a week. No questions asked. They need to be at work on Sunday to Sunday. The concert is supposed to be on a Friday night. It's going to last all night long. So Red knows that people are not going to come to work all night after going to this concert all night long. People are not going to come to work on Sunday. He's not having it. He calls Denny into his office, threatens him, and he gives him $10,000 and says, look, you can buy yourself off of this island and you can go anywhere. You can even take someone with you. He knows about his girlfriend, Kofi, because then he says, Kofi is a beautiful girl. And before that, Denny was all smiles. He was like being polite and everything. As soon as he mentioned Kofi, Denny was like, okay, we were cool, but you bringing my girl's name into this situation. And Red is so slimy that even his compliment to Denny feels like a threat. He says, Kofi is a beautiful girl. You have good taste, just like me. And he said it just like that. But it was as a compliment, but you could feel the undertone of a threat. First of all, I don't think it's appropriate for him to know, or for him to let him know that he knows his girlfriend's name, calling her on a first name basis, and then talking about how beautiful she is and that he has good taste like him. Like, all of that put together sounded like a threat, but he said it so nice and pleasant, but it was a threat because he's a thug. Okay, so he gives him the money. He breaks his guitar. He was like, so now you have an excuse. Just tell everyone that you fell. You can't perform the concert. He doesn't take the money. He wants to get up and leave. They grab him. The security grab him, shove the money back into his chest, and like, look, take this money. Do what he says. Don't put on that concert. Everything is going to be fine. Denny, he refuses. He has this dream, and this is his opportunity to fulfill this dream. So he goes ahead and performs the concert anyway. Everybody's enjoying themselves. It's live. He's singing, he's dancing, he's doing that, his wide eyes. And Donald Glover, he does the same move every time, but it's so cute and it's so him. He does the wide eyes, and he has that little cute smile, and then he does the little body roll. He does that. Everybody's having a good time. And then all of a sudden, pow, 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 they started shooting. They were trying to assassinate Denny. So Denny, he runs off the stage. Everybody runs. The concert is over. He got to perform a half of a song. He got to perform a lot of the song, but he only got to perform one song, and not even in its entirety. They chase him off. He runs off the stage, runs around trying to get away. They find him and kill him. I did say spoiler alert, right? I did. I believe I did. They find him and shoot him. Now, whoever the masked man, the shooter was, he's masked. So, but I don't think it's Red. Red doesn't do his own dirty work. You know, he's up here. He has people for that. But the whoever the shooter was had on a mask, and right before he was killed, he saw a little blue bird, and the whole theme, it was blue and red everywhere throughout the movie, representing the blue silk, the thing that brings the people together, that gives them a job to do because they have to weave together this blue silk to sell it. It's a treasure of the island, that blue silk. So you see the blue theme everywhere, and then you see red everywhere, representing the Red family, or the war part of the dueling truths. So those are a couple of the themes. Anyway, right before he gets killed, he looks up and he sees this blue bird, and it's kind of like his last hope, or his, like his last thought before he's killed is, at least I got to do what I dreamed of doing, because he did it. Even though it wasn't the full concert, it didn't last all night long, he still got people together, united, having fun together, before he was, I'm going to say assassinated, because he was beloved before he was assassinated. So then the next day, Red, Red is happy. He gets up and has his morning coffee and biscuits, and all of his nice little morning routine. He got on his cute little tie-dye outfit, I don't know. And he goes out to his car. His driver is there. He's reading the paper. He looks so happy. Goes out to the factory to check on his money. Nobody is there. Nobody showed up to work anyway. He goes to, so there was the factory. Then he goes to the dock. Nobody is at the dock. Only the security guard is at the dock. And he was sitting down until the car pulled up. He was like, so nobody is on the dock. Everybody skipped work anyway. He starts going around town, like trying to figure out where's everyone. All of a sudden he hears these kids singing, and it's so beautiful. The kids are singing, and then you just see basically the whole town. Most of the people are wearing blue, representing the treasure of the island, which is the blue silk. But at that moment, it's Denny. So most of the people are in blue. You can definitely see the theme there. And they're marching him down the street. He's in a casket, open casket. They have him lifted up in the air, exalting him. And he's dressed really nice. I think they have some flowers in the casket with him. So you could tell that they really loved and admired and respected him for the person who he was and what he was able to accomplish with that concert. And so that's where everyone was when they skipped work that next day. They were celebrating the life of Denny, their hero for the not for the moment, because I'll tell you about that in a minute, but they were celebrating their hero. And Red was mad too. He stood in the middle of the processional, like they were gonna stop. They were like, banging on their drums. They walked right around him. They were like, man, we are not thinking about you. We are celebrating this great man right here. We'll deal with the consequences of you later. So they continued to celebrate him. And then Rihanna, she was like a mourning, 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 like she was in mourning. She was someone close to her had died, that kind of mourning. She was like a mourning bride. And she was wearing all blue. You know how mourning wives wear black. She was wearing all blue, and it was this beautiful blue too. It might have been the same color as this blue. I have my little Guava Island outfit on today. So she was wearing this beautiful blue with a veil and everything, and she was like almost barefaced the entire movie except for lipstick, maybe some concealer or something. But on this scene, she had on a full face of makeup, beautiful eyeliner. She had that veil on. Oh, she was like a diva. Like, Yes. So Red walks up to her, or she walks past Red during the processional, the funeral celebration, and she said she walks past him, and then she turns, looks at him, and says, "We got our day." They got their day. So his whole plan failed. They love Denny even more now because he's a martyr now. That's what he is. He's a martyr now. He died for a good cause for the people. So they love him even more now, and their respect for Red has decreased. So their love for Denny went up, and their respect for Red went down. And they got their day off anyway. So this was I really enjoyed the movie. It's a movie about freedom, I think. And even Denny said that. He said, I want everyone to feel love and to be free tonight. And so that's what I think it is. I think it's about freedom, and how even though they were oppressed on this island and stuck on this island, you could see that they still had times where they were, well, it seemed like a lot of the time they were happy. They made the best out of their situation. And let's see, the rating of it was TVMA. I'm really upset about that because this is another movie. Remember, I talked about it in See You Yesterday. I'll put the link up, but I talked about it in See You Yesterday, where they rated it TVMA, so that may discourage parents from letting their children see it. I heard maybe one or two curse words in this movie, and to be quite honest, if I didn't have my closed captions on, I would not have even caught that those were curse words. So, and then the killing scene, it was like real far away. It was two gunshots. You couldn't see what was going on. You couldn't see Denny. Like, you could see him land there, but it wasn't graphic, is what I'm trying to say. And then they had this whole scene where they redid This Is America. Oh, that was so good on the docks. But the actual video for This Is America was more violent than it was in this movie. So I really don't know why they gave it the TVMA, and I feel like it may discourage parents from letting their children see it, just like I said for the movie See You Yesterday. But if I were a parent, I would let my child see this because it was good. It even had like a cartoon scene in the beginning when they were telling the folklore of the land. And so I would still let my child watch it, but I would just explain to them the themes of love and war, and how when someone is trying to do something great, there's always someone ready to crush that dream, but the person who's doing good will prevail. Just have that conversation about love and freedom versus war and hate. And also tell them about how someone is monopolizing all of the business, and how things like that just happen around the world, and talk about democracy versus dictatorship. That kind of, it's an educational kind of movie, and it's entertaining as well. And like I said, it's like a long music video, so it's entertaining. It has music, it has dancing, it has beautiful people in it, and it also shows the local color of this island with the music and the people, and the people drumming on old, it looked like frying pans instead of drums. So, that's the other thing I wanted to mention. I don't know what year this is supposed to be in. Because, like I said, there was no modern technology, and the scenes, or the movie was shot really grainy, like the 80s kind of film. And what else? The wardrobe was old school and just like kind of plain but colorful. And so I don't know if that's a theme of it was supposed to be in the 80s or something, or if that's talking about how when you have people oppressed, you oppress them in every single way, meaning you deny them access to modern technology, because the more you have, the more you want. And so denying people, especially being on an island, is I'm sure is very easy to deny people the luxuries and the technologies of the people on the mainland. So I don't know if that was the thing because, or if that was because it was set in a earlier time, or if it's just showing you that the people didn't have access to it because they are living under the rule of an oppressor. So anyway, that I enjoyed the movie. It was very short, um, but it got what it needed to get done. It got done what it needed to get done in that time. I don't think that it needed to be any longer. I didn't feel like anything was lacking at the end. I didn't feel like any questions needed to be answered. Oh, the other thing, Rihanna's character Kofi, she was pregnant, but she never got to tell Denny because he was assassinated. I'm gonna keep saying assassinated. He was assassinated before she got to tell him. So at the very end of the movie, she's telling her child the story of the island, but she says, "I get to tell you a different story." I just got to chill. I get to tell you a different story. And it's because of that child's father, who is going to be now, I'm sure, like a national treasure to that island, because he was the person responsible for letting everyone get one day of freedom, at least. So she's telling her child the story, but she says, "I get to tell you a different story." So it was beautiful. It was very nice. It had some good themes, nice acting, good wardrobe, and just it was a really nice movie. It's playing on Amazon Prime right now. So if you're a Prime member, go check it out if you haven't already. Or I just told you the whole movie, so if you haven't seen it, you might not need to see it. But still, I mean, check it out. It's a good movie. I will see you next time. Don't forget to like this video, please. I enjoyed myself with you tonight, and I will see you another time or next week. Bye. Mwah.